Good morning, everybody. So I wanted to talk about healing today. I had a couple of questions under some of my videos, but healing also means holy. It's the same root and the same meaning. So to be healed actually means to be holy. So we're going to talk about how to overcome some wrong thinking. And when we overcome that wrong thinking, we can be healed of any regret we might have about the past or any worry we might have for the future. So it's a long process, the journey to healing. But basically what you're doing along that journey is connecting your mind, spirit, body. Okay? So we're going to say that the body, the brain of the physical body, resides in the belly. Okay? The brain of the spirit resides in the heart, and then the brain of the mind resides in the head. Okay? So we all, when we're born innocent, we have a great dependence, an interdependence between the heart and the brain and the belly. But as we grow, we learn to reside more in our belly and in our brain. Okay? So all of these areas of our body have ventricles. Our heart has ventricles, our brain has ventricles, and then the very word ventricle comes from the word vendor, and that means belly. Okay, so how are all three of these areas connected? Belly is the pit. Okay, belly is where our fear resides. Belly is where our emotions that are based upon fear or carnality reside. In the mind or the brain is where our ego exists. It's a computer that can be misprogrammed, and the wires up here can get crossed, and we begin to believe in carnal realities over spiritual realities. Okay, where we have many times we've talked about the fact that first we are spiritual beings and we should first be thinking spiritually. Our flesh body and our carnal world is secondary. Well, we get those two mixed up in the brain. Okay. Not only that, we also then lose our connection to the heart because we start to believe in emotions, negative emotions that come from the belly, and we start to believe in erroneous principles up here where our ego resides, and cut off all connection here where the truth resides. Okay? And actually, we don't actually cut off the connection, the path gets covered over and we forget how to get here. Okay? Okay, so as we grow and develop, we are listening to the outside reality, and that is connected to our belly. Fear is a false emotion, and anything that's based from the dark side of the emotions, the fear side of the emotions, is therefore a false emotion. Things like anger, sadness, distress, embarrassment, worry. We have those emotions to help us learn, okay, but they're false. They don't exist unless our ventricles up here are miswired, misprogrammed. Okay, what we try to do on our journey to healing is climb up from the pit of the belly where the head of the serpent resides, okay, because underneath your belly is your spine, and your spine looks exactly like a serpent, and the head of the serpent is actually the tailbone, okay. We want to get out of the thinking and the wisdom of the serpent and overcome that and become wiser than the serpent, okay? So in order to do that, we have to understand truth, and the truth is here, and all that's written in the heart, all that's written in this area is love, joy, peace, freedom, harmony, goodness, kindness, and everything that's good. Okay, that's what resides right here. The only way to begin to heal, we're going to rewire the wiring in our body, the wiring in our mind. And we have learned it that we're crossing over from one hemisphere over here to a new hemisphere. Actually, we're going from left to right, actually. We're also reconnecting this to this, okay? There's a bridge here. We need to clear the bridge, repair the bridge, repair the gap that has been between those two. And that's when we start to think more clearly and feel more truly. Okay, so we have to learn that in the truth there's only these good emotions. We don't need to feel from our belly, we're going to feel from the spirit, which is right here. And the truth is love. The truth is all that exists is love, okay? So why do we feel these other emotions? Well, we have made connections within the body, within the organs, that are not true. And we also do that when we attach ourselves and make connections to physical things in the carnal world. So you're making a connection of importance to carnal things out in reality. The truth is, we understand that this reality, this fabric of this life, is what we see and what we connect to in the physical world is not the truth. This is not the truth. So any feelings or emotions that you're connecting to outside things, outside your body, are connections that are made from the belly. It's carnal, and it's deceiving. Okay, it's centered right around that serpent knowledge. The knowledge of good and evil, the knowledge of contrast, the knowledge of conflict, the knowledge of learning, which is the knowledge of good and evil. Okay, so this reality exists simply to teach us, to be our stepping stone to truth, but it's not the truth. Okay, so many people learn to actually disconnect from those emotions that they have tied to outside physical things. And that sounds terrible. Well, you don't want to disconnect from the emotions that you have attached to this world, but yes, you do. You actually do. And that sounds like indifference. It sounds like I'm telling you to be indifferent to anything that goes on in the world. No, you're not to be indifferent. You're to understand the truth beneath what's out there. Okay, so in order to disconnect, because disconnecting is is going to heal you, because you're going to reconnect to that which is wholly truthful. Wholly truthful. It's the entirety that you will be connecting to. So you can see the entire picture, where out in the physical reality, everything is divided by perspective. Okay? So everything is divided out in this world, and so you're attaching only to a piece. You've only got knowledge or wisdom about one small fraction of that physical reality, and that's what your belly is connecting to, and what your emotions, particularly negative emotions, are connecting to. Fear. Well, perfect love casts out fear. Why do you fear? Why do you worry? Why do you regret something in the past when the past doesn't actually exist? Why are you fearing something for the future when the future truly does not exist? What exists right now is only and forever one moment in time. And in this one particular moment, the eternal moment where the entirety, the wholeness of truth where it exists. What is in this one moment? Drop the past connections and drop the future connections to things in this world for one moment. What are you truly connected to in this one eternal moment? You are connected only to Source. Even if you've lost your way, even if the path has been covered over or damaged, in reality, all that you're connected to is that from where you began. That's the heart. That's the heart. That's what we develop first in the womb, is the heart neurons. Okay, so this is where the truth of the wisdom lies. This is all you are truly connected to. And then everything else grows. All your connections are created as you develop. Okay? This is what's real. This is your point of origin right here. Okay, this is where you start, and this is where your innocence and purity lies. So in this one moment, where your true connection is here. If you were to be present only in this one particular moment, right now, you are calm, you are connected, you are loved, you have no fear for the future because it does not exist in this moment, and you have no regret for the past because it does not exist. It doesn't exist. All it is a wiring in the brain. Future is a thought you can have. Okay? But that thought it's miswired, because if all that is truly existing is always and forever peace, love, and harmony, then the worry that you have for the future is a false idea. It's a miswiring. Okay? Then if you have the same thing, regret, shame, anger, anything that you hold for the past is also false wiring, because that past does not exist in this present moment. Okay, so this is the truth of forgiveness, when as you are being healed through the process of reconnecting to the truth, rewiring yourself to truth. What is called is forgiveness, and it's actually releasing all emotional ties to the chaos and the twisting of this physical reality. Okay, doesn't mean that I don't care. It's not indifference. It's a truth that's founded in peace and love. And my wires have been reconnected to that point of origin, that truth and that harmony and that light that resides here. the moment you start to stray away from the light that resides here and you start to focus far out into this reality, the farther you are away from the light and the truth. Okay, so always to focus yourself in your center and be present in the truth. To be present in the truth is to release that horrible, tumultuous pain and suffering that we can experience out in the physical reality, whether it be in the past, present, or future. If you believe in the suffering and the worrying, you need to seek the truth of that matter, don't you? Okay? So if I'm telling you that this reality is based on delusion, it has to be. It has to be. Because all that truly exists is light and love. Behind the veil of this reality, all there is light and love and peace and harmony. So what we experience here is a twisting of the truth. If you can understand that, it's a long journey to understand that, but if you can understand that, you can, in essence, disconnect from the fear. You're disconnecting from the belly. The belly, guys, we have learned, we've called it many things. It's been the pit of hell. Hell simply means a school for learning, and this reality is our school for learning. Okay? If you can graduate and become wiser than that serpent, you will understand that there's no need for fear-based emotions, because perfect love casts out fear. Okay, so there are a couple of things to remember when you're trying to overcome that fear and overcome those troubling emotions. First, the truth is that all of us are connected through love, that nobody has judgment upon you in reality. Deep down in their hearts, they don't have judgment upon you, cannot judge you. You can't feel, therefore, shame or fear or worry regarding other people. That's a truth you have to come to. And then second, you have to understand that those emotions, so the first part is just a truth. It's an understanding of it, wisdom, intelligence, okay? Understanding through analyzing, okay? That the truth is simply light and love, okay? Second, the emotional part, which can bring you great healing, is to try to live in the moment, to experience that right now I'm comfortable, I'm safe, I'm loved, and I can be at peace because I am connected to the all-knowing, almighty, loving light. And that's all I'm truly connected to. If we're making connections out here, it's a connection that will decay and decompose. Okay? It's not a connection that exists forever. Oh, I wish there was something else I could say to help. Guys, we've all been through things in our life. We've all been through great suffering. We've been through great betrayal, and there's a way to heal and to become whole, and it's by reconnecting to the truth and disconnecting from the delusion. So focus on that. Try to focus in the moment where the reality exists. Okay? No thoughts for the past, because there's no need. It simply does not exist any longer. And so change your emotions about it, because it doesn't exist. Okay? So you are in control of changing your emotions about that. And change your emotions about the future if you have tremendous worry or fear. That moment doesn't exist either. Simply keep focused in your heart. So do I not think of the past? Of course I do. But I have been able to release all of those growing pains from that. Okay? That simply doesn't exist, but in my head any longer. Okay? And do I think of the future? All the time, but with hope. But with hope, because now I am connected to the truth. That's all that there is in the future. That's all that exists in the future, is the hope of what we know the truth is. And the true path is heading towards glory. That's what our hope is. Okay? So if you have fear about the future, it's disconnect. It's a miswired communication in your mind or in your belly. Go instead to the heart. Okay? Hope that makes sense. Think about it. Keep your mind moving forward. Have a good day.